After being in branding and business for the last 15 years, working behind the scenes of over 500 brands between clients and students, I have seen some cringeworthy mistakes. Because when you're not at your best, like if you're not showing up with your best brand, your ideal clients don't ever get to experience your magic. And that is sad. So I am sharing the top 4 mistakes that I see brands making that is limiting their potential and repelling who would have been awesome potential clients. My name is Kate Putnam. I'm the psychology-driven brand strategist. I help entrepreneurs change the world with what they know. Thank you so much for being here. Just by you being here, you're showing that you don't want to make the most common mistakes that others are making, which makes you one smart cookie. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and then the notification bell will tell you whenever I publish a new video, which I do almost every single week, if not more often, of branding goodness. All right, let's get into it. The first most common mistake that I still see, even being a brand strategist, I still talk to these entrepreneurs sometimes. They're probably not watching this video, to be fair, but it's the ones that think that they don't need a brand, or because they haven't intentionally built a brand that they don't have one. I've heard people say, like, I don't have a brand, I'm just me, which is a complete myth. Because everybody who's showing up in the market has a brand, because people believe things to be true about you based on what you're putting out into the market. By definition, that is a brand, whether you've been intentional about it or not. And the problem with this strategy is that you lower the credibility. There's a lot of trust that is built just through quality or perceived quality, implied quality, if you will. So if you have a professional and engaging looking identity, presence, platform online, people also assume that you are compelling, professional, engaging as a human or as a product or as a service, whatever you're offering to the market. So there's a lot of trust that you're missing out on if you're not intentionally showing up and building your brand in a strategic way. The other pitfall with this no strategy is that you're missing out on a long-term relationship that you could build with your ideal clients. So if you're showing up in a different way, like with no consistency, like you're just throwing out different things, like you look like a different person almost every time they come into contact with you, you don't have the opportunity to build that relationship over time and to really take advantage of the snowball effect that happens when you build a great brand. On the complete opposite end of the spectrum, the most common second mistake I see entrepreneurs making is a complete obsession with their brand. So they're in this constant cycle of rebranding and rebranding and rebranding and rebranding without ever really figuring out what's at the core. So they're changing their message from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, without that through line of their personality, point of view, vision that's going to stay the same throughout any design changes. And they're just trying out all of these different identities on for size to see if people are going to resonate with them. And unfortunately, what happens then is that trust is lowered again, because they're like, who are you really? What can you help me with? Like, can you really help me with all of these things? Or are you just saying it? Like, how do you keep learning all of these new skills or becoming this new person? Like, we don't have that consistency or that trust that's built over time if you don't hold on to some core part of your brand identity. Sure, you can like change the outward representation, like you can update your design styles or tweak them as long as you're staying within your foundational elements. You don't want to change your core like fonts or colors every 2 or 3 months, because you're not going to create any relationship or any memory trigger with them like we need to when we're building a brand. So remember that when you're getting sick of your brand, as long as it's not like truly outdated and turning people away, if it looks good and it communicates who you are at your core, at your inside, it's built from a strong, rock solid foundation, not just built on whatever was trendy at the time, then you should be sick of your brand. Like, you should be tired of telling the same stories or using the same words or promoting the same products or XYZ. Like, you, as the person who is the visionary of this brand, are the one that's going to get tired of it first. So be okay with that. And also, build your brand on that strong foundation so you don't feel the need to keep reinventing yourself every 4, 6, 8 months. Mistake number 3 that I see all too often, and to be completely transparent and honest, this is what I suffered from in the beginning. When I was trying to be successful in business, I was looking at what all the successful people were doing. I'm like, oh, I should model that. Like, I should have this motivational Monday video series called Your Monday Morning Kick in the Pants. Or I should open up my website with this, hey bombshell, like feminine, flirty greeting, which is so not me. And then like I tried also this like, there's this other entrepreneur who had this like luxurious lifestyle. I'm like, oh, so that's what people want. She's successful, so maybe I should have finding your it factor be my product. And surprise, surprise, none of these worked because they weren't true to who I am at my best. So make sure you're not getting too inspired by what is out there in the market. And worse yet, make sure that you know like what your archetypes, your brand archetypes are, so that you're not being inspired by people that are like a completely different message, because that's going to create some major dissonance with your target market. They're not going to understand who you are or what you're saying or what you're doing, and it's going to turn them off. Do not, I've seen it so many times, do not ever copy another entrepreneur's intellectual property, especially word for word. Like, I have had people pull my entire sales page copy and then use it as a social media post, for example. Do not do that. It is out of integrity, it is not cool, and it doesn't look good. If only, and it doesn't look good for your peer relationships, even if your ideal clients don't necessarily notice. It's a shortcut, it's lazy, and it will not work in the long run. And big brand mistake number 4 I see people making are people that have all of the things. So these tend to be creative types. They love like every font, like they see this new thing come out or this new font get released or a different color palette on Pinterest, and they're like, ooh, let's do this for this product and this for this product and this for this product, and they end up with this hodgepodge of ideas all scotch taped together instead of having a coherent theme that runs throughout their brand. That consistency, that sexy consistency that you need when you're building a really great brand. So there you have it, the 4 most common mistakes that people make when you're building a brand. If you need help overcoming any of these, I would be glad to help, either working with you one-on-one or in my brand new brand program. I teach you how to build that rock solid foundation so that you're not falling victim to some of these all too avoidable mistakes that are going to limit your possibilities and your potential and your brand growth. All right, till next time, guys, I will see you soon.